Hi, I'm Elizabeth Losh, Writing Director of the Humanities Core course at UC Irvine. With easy access to internet-based survey tools, the availability of simple online forms for submission of student work, and widespread adoption of spreadsheet and database technologies on college campuses, it has never been easier for writing program administrators to mine and visualize complex data sets, to learn about the practices, processes, and products of written composition in academic environments. In his work on cultural analytics, Lev Manovich has argued that these new interfaces should encourage scholars to rethink how they ask research questions, since data visualizations and other forms of information mapping allow faculty to see answers to questions that they might not have thought to have asked otherwise. Yet the convenience of many of these digital tools should not be the only driver of inquiry, because instrumentalist approaches to assessment can miss important aspects of the social dimensions of literacy and could cause researchers to neglect the most important questions to be asked. Good assessment practices recognize that composition involves a range of linguistic, disciplinary, social, and cultural practices, and that written discourse can involve many different genres and patterns of development. Let's look at some of the things that students talk about when they look back at their first-year experiences.
I was almost forced to take humanities core, and I was, taught things that I didn't think were applicable to what I would be doing. But later on, as I moved throughout college and later on applying to medical school, I realized that everything that I learned in humanities core, even the topics that at the time I thought were, not really applicable to what I was doing, they actually proved to be really important to me. For example, when I took the MCAT, I wrote about Locke and Rousseau, which in my year that I was taking humanities core had been a topic that we were taught. And I received a T on my writing score, which is a score that only 0.1% of students who take the MCAT every year receive. And I really credit that to the very original topic that I had chosen to write about. So you would be very surprised. I finished school at UC Irvine, and then I continued to medical school. And even now that I'm in medical school, I still use the writing skills, the analytical skills, and everything else that I learned at Humanities Core to even continue my writing there, writing about patient-doctor relationships and stuff like that.
Writing program administrators know that the MCAT writing examination is only one snapshot of student writing, a particular writing performance that is captured in a timed situation. Yet students in the punishing pre-medical track of college care very much about how the courses they take will be relevant to them in their futures beyond graduation. Looking at that large-scale data on spreadsheets allows us as writing program administrators to spot populations of students that struggle with writing a sophisticated essay on test day, and it can show faculty in other disciplines why writing instruction might be valued by students to achieve future goals.
I had started off in the lowest level of Hum Core writing, and I eventually ended up in the honors Hum Core class, which really allowed me to prove to myself that I could do a lot more than I initially had thought, and the support of the staff itself really should be taken, you should utilize your resources as best as possible, because they really are there to help you and allow you to achieve things that you never thought you could. So I would have to say that would be the most important thing I've gained out of the Humanities Core experience.
Often standardized tests are not tools for assessment that writing program administrators are eager to embrace, particularly when entry-level placement examinations tend to act as barriers to Latina students who find themselves relegated to basic writing classes. However, being able to view large quantities of data from students with Spanish as a home language reveals a more encouraging picture over the course of 4 years that shows their grades in upper division writing to be statistically indistinguishable from their Anglo peers when viewed in aggregate.
I learned how to analyze really closely and that has been essential to even taking courses like organic chemistry. And I've also learned really good analytical academic writing skills that have helped me write essays for scholarships, fellowships, and graduate school applications. And I think a large part of why I was successful with those applications was because of the writing and communication skills that I learned from core course.
Too often, we've allowed the powerful rhetorics of assessment to be appropriated by cultural conservatives and right-wing politicos. But new digital tools allow us to look at many different factors that show the advantages of having a diverse student body with many kinds of writing experiences. In the Humanities Core course, we've been learning about how second language literacy experiences can be transferable to certain kinds of academic literacy, and have looked at successful bilingual and biliterate student populations that don't fit the remediation model of ESL or Generation 1.5. We've also been learning about how students are composing outside the classroom in blogs, wikis, social network sites, game forums, online videos, and many other forms of internet discourse.
In a lot of my upper division classes that I'm taking, that's been really helpful. Aside from the writing skills that you gain, it's definitely helpful to be able to balance like when to have fun with your friends and when to get the work done.
We're actually looking forward to continuing to participate in campus-wide assessment projects with other programs, which include blind readings of student papers and large-scale surveys of students and instructors. We think that the beneficiaries of these computer-aided forms of writing research will clearly be our students, particularly when conventional wisdom is confounded by exciting findings in our databases of results.